All right,
take a listen.
you guys take.
All the troubles away. Let's ride, right till the dawning of day. Oh, let's ride, right, house is ready to roll. Let's ride, right, house is giving us some.
When I first told my friends I wanted to become a medical assistant, they laughed and said, "You spend 2 years in school?" Then I told them how long training actually takes. Now I'm the one laughing, because I have a career that I love. If you don't want to spend 2 years in school, but you want to prepare for a career where you can help people and be a part of a team, medical assisting could be perfect for you. This is your chance. You should take it.
Call 956-465-0401 for your Career Compass Guide. Kaplan College, your career compass.
From the Valley's News Channel, this is Channel 5 News at 5.
University of Texas Brownsville still has a high level of security on its campus this afternoon.
Yeah, people are concerned. Those shootouts in Matamoros happened less than a half mile from the university, and a student was kidnapped at gunpoint Tuesday. UTB police are still hunting down those suspects. Meanwhile, our Shelly Childers spent the day along the border there. Shelly's live with us. So what did you see today?
Yeah, city police continue their increased patrols around the UTB campus, telling us they're adding extra eyes around the parking lot areas where that student was kidnapped on Tuesday. We're standing on a levee just across the river from the U.S. Consulate office in Matamoros, Mexico. This is all less than a mile from that UTB parking lot where the student was kidnapped. We've also seen Border Patrol units out here on this levee stationed here, several of them stopping by to check on us. We asked the city and the university about increased security because of the violence this week across the border. Both agencies tell us they are aware but are not taking any specific action. The Brownsville Police Department is asking folks to heed warnings from the U.S. Consulate in Matamoros. They're advising limited travel due to the ongoing threat of violence between rival factions of the Gulf Cartel. We reported earlier this week that 14 people died in a rolling gun battle between Matamoros and Reynosa. And just this afternoon, the Matamoros mayor tweeted a warning of more violence to come. Take a look at these tweets right now. She says that there are situations of risk that may intensify in several areas of the city. She urges citizens to take preventative measures to safeguard their families in the
All right, that was our Shelly Childers reporting on the situation there in Brownsville, the UT Brownsville campus. Again, a kidnapping there happening recently, and security remains very tight on the Brownsville campus. Shelly continues to work that part of the security story on campus at UT Brownsville. Again, she will have the very latest for us as she continues to work for new details. This afternoon, the two men wanted in a recent drive-by, or at least an Hidalgo County murder case, ended today. The co-defendant made his plea. Our Rebecca Young was there. She also got a hand on the investigator's report, and she is in her studio with more. Rebecca?
Well, the crime took place in August of 2013. At first, Hidalgo County Sheriff's deputies responded to a house that was engulfed in flames, but they learned quickly that a young woman was inside. The details only got worse from there. The 19-year-old wife had just found out she was going to be a mother. She'd been killed before the house was set on fire in order to cover up that crime. Deputies quickly learned that two men, Benjamin Vasquez Hernandez and Marco Antonio Hernandez, were involved in the crime. Vasquez's confession is included in the investigative reports. In his confession, Vasquez says he knew the victim and her family. He said he wanted to steal the woman's TV set and decided he needed to kill her to cover his tracks. Once inside the home, he put her in a chokehold and repeatedly raped her. He then strangled her with a cord and set the house on fire to cover up that crime. After the victim's family arrived at the burned-out home, Vasquez returned to the scene and pretended to comfort them. The investigator who took the confession said Vasquez showed no emotion or remorse when describing what he had done. Now, Vasquez has already received a life sentence. Benjamin Hernandez, who knew that Vasquez was going to kill the victim and did nothing, was set for trial today. At the last moment, he pled guilty instead. He was immediately sentenced to 35 years in prison. Live in the studio, Rebecca Young, Channel 5 News at 5.
The two men wanted for a recent drive-by shooting just turned themselves in. Hidalgo County deputies say the pair fired rounds near miles 17.5 and miles 6 west last week. That's near Elsa. No one was hurt in the drive-by. The two men, who were 24 and 19, will officially be charged tomorrow.
Hidalgo County deputies are making headway in another home invasion investigation. Roberto Carlos Flores was charged with aggravated robbery earlier today. The 27-year-old accused of storming a home north of Mission last month. Another man still remains on the run. The two men reportedly demanded cash and ended up stealing a safe at that home. The victims were not harmed. But tonight, Channel 5 News spotlights a health concern. An organization working to feed the hungry may be hurting some of those they are trying to help. Channel 5 News investigation, we learned some donated food being left outside on the ground overnight, exposed to the elements, rats and roaches. The items are then distributed to feed the needy in the valley. McAllen health officials say the health concerns should be taken seriously.
Somebody can get sick, especially if we're going to provide this product to elderly, children, their immune system is low, and if the product is exposed to any contaminant, they'll be the first ones to react towards any contamination and become very ill.
See what the cameras caught and what the RGV Food Bank has to say when good intentions go wrong. The Channel 5 News investigation tonight on Channel 5 News at 10.
Well, clouds have been sticking around the valley all day today. Look at Sky 5 and you can see the view out there, and this has been what we've seen all day. Very few breaks at all, so temperatures had to work really hard to get into the 60s, and we're already cooling back off. Fog could be an issue again tonight. There, your current temperatures 58 to 61 across the area. Fog could be an issue again tonight, but probably not as widespread or thick as last night. We'll take a look at that with your First 1-5 forecast coming up in just a little bit.
The state of Texas is gearing up for a new type of two-step, the two-step one sticker program. Our Letty Garza outside the Channel 5 News studios to break it all down. And Letty, this particular program affects all drivers, right?
Yes, that's right. Instead of one sticker for registration and one sticker for inspection, they will both be on the same sticker. And the program kicks off March 1st of this year, so that's less than 1 month away. Now drivers won't need to do anything different than they are right now. As usual, you'll need to have a valid passing car inspection before renewing registration. Those results will now be kept electronically by the state. That system will automatically enroll you to have both the inspection and the registration due on the same date. Now, this means that you will only pay for one inspection, even if it exceeds the 12-month inspection and registration cycle. Here is where it gets a little tricky. Vehicles will need to pass inspection before drivers can renew vehicle registration. For the first year, if registration expires before inspection, that vehicle won't have to be inspected until it needs to be renewed again in 2016. If the inspection expires before the registration, the driver will have to have the car inspected before renewing its registration. After this year, the two expiration dates will be in sync, and a vehicle only has to have the inspection done before registration is renewed. The registration sticker design won't be changing. The cost of registration and inspection also won't be changing. A driver will only be responsible for the $7 plus emissions testing cost when they have their car inspected. The $7.50 the state charges for inspections will be added to the registration renewal fee. And again, the program kicks off in just 23 days. We'll place a link on our website at KRDV.com if you want to take a closer look at the program. That will be up right after the newscast. Reporting in Weslaco, Letty Garza, Channel 5 News at 5.
Well, with inspection stickers no longer needed, the change will eliminate the risk of inspection sticker fraud and theft. First told you about the sticker fraud hitting the valley back in December. 2 bogus stickers were found at an Hidalgo County tax assessor's office. The dates were altered. Anyone with a bogus sticker could be charged with tax fraud.
Border Patrol agents seized nearly $4 million worth of dope in just the first 4 days of February. The largest bust happened Tuesday night near Rio Grande City. Agents scoped out a known smuggling spot and saw about a dozen smugglers near the river. The group scattered but left 800 pounds of pot behind. The total takedown so far this month weighs in at about 4,700 pounds. And your drive to San Antonio going to look a little different soon. The feds are going to build a new Border Patrol checkpoint there in Brooks County. The project is in the proposed construction and operation phase. Right now, the 3-lane checkpoint is located 13 miles south of Alfurious on Highway 281. That station was built back in 1994. Fun fact for you. The Fowl checkpoint is the busiest checkpoint in the country. No word on when agents will break ground.
Jordan launches round after round of airstrikes on ISIS targets 2 days after the radical Islamic terror group executes one of their pilots.
And a former al-Qaeda operative, sometimes called the 20th hijacker in the 9/11 attacks, now claiming that Saudi Arabia was involved in those terror attacks. We're going to tell you the link between what he says is Osama bin Laden and the royal family. Stick with us.
Original paint, original interior.
1969 Camaro SS. It's a 1965 El Camino.
Oh, yes. They were oohing and eyeing. If you missed out on the largest car show in South Texas, you want to stick around to catch a glimpse. We'll give you a look at all the classic rides that took over McAllen later in the newscast. We'll be right back.
Breaking news. Breaking stories. This is Channel 5 News with Oscar Adame, Melissa Correa, and First Warn 5 Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith. This is Channel 5 News at 5.
Come to the income tax sale at FAMSA. This marble dining room set only $819. Casual living room set only $829. Simmons Beauty Sleep Queen mattresses, firm $729 or pillow top $839. FAMSA, close to you.
Critics call Cristela one of 10 comics to watch.
You know, I like it when women bring home the bacon.
Nobody's questioning that.
Cristela, Fridays on ABC.
Brought to you locally by Aztec House Leveling.
How many smiles are in your bank account? How many laughs? How many hugs and shoulders to lean on? And when you add it all up, after all the years, is there anything that counts more? How will you be remembered?
Chevy trucks always find new roads to conquer. We started with the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. And now, introducing the pickup that unanimously won the 2015 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. All made of high-strength steel, only at one place, at your Texas Chevy dealer. Now during Truck Month, GM owners can trade up to get a total value of $8,000 on select Silverados in stock the longest. See your Rio Grande Valley Chevy dealers.
Right now, save up to $4,000 off 2015 Suburbans and Tahoes at Burdogton Chevrolet in Mission. Choose from more than 1,500 Chevys on the lot today. Drive a 2014 Chevy Silverado Crew Cab for just $28,995 with GM owner loyalty and trade assistance. We shop the competition so you don't have to, but hurry in because these deals are going fast. At Burdogton Chevrolet, Bryan Road, and Expressway 83 in Mission.
Dale gas.
At FAMSA, during our income tax sale, you choose the offer that's best for you. We'll cash your income tax check for free. Plus, you'll receive a 10% bonus. Or purchase furniture or mattresses of $15.99 or more and receive a free HD TV. FAMSA, close to you.
Jordanian fighter pilots are back at their base after they launched more airstrikes against ISIS. The Jordanian government is targeting the terror group after it murdered one of their own.
The fierce offensive part of the retaliation promised by Jordan's king. Polo Sandoval joins us with the latest at 5.
Jordan's King Abdullah paying respects to the family of his country's slain pilot, telling the father of Lieutenant Moal Al-Qasasba that he authorized airstrikes as payback for the barbaric murder of the 27-year-old.
We will not let this crime of killing our pilot with the horrific way it was done pass without punishment. These people will be punished.
Jordan is one of a handful of Middle Eastern nations fighting ISIS as part of a coalition led by the United States. Search and rescue teams remain at the ready should coalition fighters be shot down. President Obama, speaking from Washington, renewed his condemnation of ISIS.
We have seen violence and terror perpetrated by those who profess to stand up for faith, their faith. Profess to stand up for Islam, but in fact are betraying it. We see ISIL, a brutal, vicious death cult that, in the name of religion, carries out unspeakable acts of barbarism.
Avenging Lieutenant Al-Qasasba's death is getting personal. Jordanians are gathering in huge crowds to honor his memory. And as coalition warplanes launch the first of the newest round of airstrikes against ISIS, Jordan promises they won't be the last. Reporting in Washington, I'm Polo Sandoval.
French authorities say a woman in a new ISIS video calling for more attacks in France may be that of Hayat Boumediene. She is a widow of Ahmedi Koulibaly, the assailant in the last month's deadly attack on a supermarket in Paris. Authorities say that this lady you see on the right may be Boumediene. Boumediene is believed to be hiding somewhere in Syria.
A convicted terrorist is now naming others involved in the September 11th attacks. The allegations come from Zacharias Moussaoui. Lawyers for him say new evidence suggests Saudi Arabia agents helped hijackers. The Saudi Arabia embassy says there isn't any evidence to prove that. Moussaoui says he carried letters from Osama bin Laden to the Saudi royal family. Moussaoui is now locked up for life.
Clouds sticking around all day today, keeping temperatures down a bit. When we come back, we'll look at what you can expect for the rest of the week and the weekend with your forecast for Old St. Helena, Lopezville, Cameron Park, and the rest of the valley. Next.
With over $45 million in deals, Shark Tank is a phenomenon.
You guys are the American dream come true.
Cha-ching, a-ling-a-ding-dong.
Emmy-winning Shark Tank, Fridays on ABC.
Brought to you locally by Bert Ogden Ram Harlingen.
Remember, we're going to the movies Saturday.
You know how busy the office keeps me.
Agent Carter, all hands on deck.
Love the hat. You work at the phone company. It ain't life and death.
You have no idea.
Marvel's Agent Carter, Tuesdays on ABC.
Brought to you locally by Far Family Pharmacy, where we treat you like family.
Looking for designer glasses? Get Coach, Fendi, Armani, and many more for the best prices at iMart Express. Or choose 2 complete pairs, frames and lenses for $39. 2 pairs with no-line bifocals for $99. All with a free 1-year warranty. And you can wear your glasses today. We'll text you when they're ready. You get a lot more for less at iMart Express. Most insurance accepted.
In Brownsville next to Target and in McAllen next to Applebee's in front of Burlington Coat Factory.
Security First Credit Union has helped generations of Valley families realize their dreams. We were there from the beginning, there for your first financial success, there for the big steps and the small. When your family joins Security First, you can trust your financial future to the credit union that's been part of Valley life since 1947. With 16 branches from Brownsville to Palmview, we'll be there for generations to come. Security First Credit Union. Always family, always first.
We count down the best of the week in sports in 1 minute's time. "60 Sports Seconds." Every Tuesday on Channel 5 News at 6 and 10 p.m. 60 Sports Seconds is supported by your friends at L&F Distributors. Michelob Ultra. Long live the Ultra Life.
Congratulations to Donna ISD for winning the Showcase Video of the Month and a $100 grant. View this and other Showcase videos at krgb.com. Then vote for your favorite.
And now, First Warn 5 weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith.
Hey folks, temperatures holding steady, upper 50s, low 60s across the valley today. Clouds haven't gone much of anywhere, so these are the currents. 57 at the beach, 61 McAllen and Edinburgh, 59 at this hour in Rio Grande City. Still be kind of a cool night tonight. Most of us dropping back into the 40s again with that northerly breeze staying with us. And if we reach those numbers, we could see some patchy fog again. Probably not as widespread as last night, not as thick, but it could still be an issue in a few places. Then tomorrow, we're back in the 60s, but clouds still dominating tomorrow. The more we look at tomorrow, the more it looks like there's going to be enough moisture in the atmosphere to keep us from seeing a whole lot of sunshine. Maybe a little, but not much. All that moisture right down here at the very bottom of the atmosphere. You get above that, it's pretty dry. That's why there's no rain, because once you get above just a couple thousand feet, the atmosphere is extremely dry. Temperatures the next few days, though, will warm up. After tomorrow's day in the 60s, I think Saturday we see a little more sunshine, burn the clouds off, winds back out of the southeast. That warms into the 70s and back to about 80. Yep, 80 by Sunday. Here's a look at the cloud cover. It's been thick today all day long and likely to stay that way most of the night. So we're mostly cloudy overnight. During the daytime tomorrow, still mostly cloudy. Some breaks, a little sun, but not much. We go into Saturday, though, and again, with the southeasterly wind kicking in during the daytime, I think the clouds break. We warm up a little bit, makes it for a pretty nice day and a pretty nice weekend. In fact, we're dry, dry, dry Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we're probably dry, dry, dry Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as well. It's Thursday of next week when we see some changes coming, courtesy of another storm system developing near us. Here are the currents: 47 San Antonio, 58 Falfurrias. Look at the rest of Texas. Only 33 in Dallas today. It is a chilly day up in North Texas, and they've seen clouds. You even see a little precipitation in there early in the day, right there, but most of that has moved out. Again, the atmosphere up high is pretty dry. High pressure in charge. It kind of builds down into the valley. It's not until it moves eastward that we get the southeasterly wind. Southeasterly wind's what warms things up and brings the sunshine back, and that'll be here for Saturday, Sunday, and probably Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well. Another front side swipes us early next week, but I think we miss out on that one, so we're able to stay pretty mild. If you're traveling in the morning across Texas, 35 to start the day in Dallas, Houston 45, San Antonio 37. By afternoon, most of the state warms up, but the warmest places will be up north. Kind of an upside down map, right? 74 in Amarillo tomorrow afternoon. So for us, 45 tonight, mostly cloudy, a little fog, and then tomorrow back up to 66. That's it. Clouds dominate, but just a little bit warmer than what it was today. A little warmer than that on Saturday and Sunday, 74 and 80. Then we kind of hang out, upper 70s, around 80 until Wednesday. Rain comes back on Thursday. Temperatures should be cooler. That's your updated First Warn 5 forecast. We'll be right back.
So I can wish for anything?
Yes.
A puppy.
Affordable home internet.
Well, I can make that wish come true.
Excuse me?
With Time Warner Cable's everyday low-price internet, you get the speed and reliability you need for surfing and emailing for $14.99 a month.
Until it goes up.
No, that's the price, and it's backed by their better guarantee.
Well, that sounds perfect, actually. Do you know where the nearest pet store is?
Call now to get everyday low-price internet for $14.99 per month. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
We gave people a mind-blowing ride in what they thought was our most advanced Altima race car. Then, we just blew their minds.
It's just crazy that this is like the car. I was just it.
The 2015 Nissan Altima with blind spot warning and zero-gravity seats. Choose the 38 mpg Highway Altima, starting at just $22,300. Altima, from the most fuel-efficient lineup in America. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Nissan, innovation that excites.
ABC Scandal.
Is this a booty call?
Get over here.
Has all the twisty.
Do I need to explain how dangerous Olivia's return is?
Crazy.
The First Lady is grieving, not crazy.
Goodness you crave.
What did you do?
Scandal. Thursdays, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Brought to you locally by Patino and Associates, accident attorneys.
Wines from around the world and tantalizing cuisines prepared by local restaurants, all while listening to the music of the Renaissance rockers, followed by one of Austin's top bands, Electric Circus. It's Vino's wine, food, and music event to benefit the Children's Advocacy Center of Hidalgo County, Estrella's House, Saturday, February 21st from 7 to 11 p.m. at La Antigua Brevilla. Log on to cadhidalgo.org for more information or call 287-9754. Your dollars will help stop the cycle of child abuse.
Get it now. The latest up-to-date weather forecast is at your fingertips. Find it at the new KRGV.com. Click the Weather tab, and there's your complete First Warn 5 weather forecast. Choose the information you need with an easy-to-use interactive map. Plan your day or week with the updated 7-day forecast. New advisory, use our up-to-the-minute weather tools. When you need to know, visit krgv.com and track storms with the First Warn 5 Weather Team and Channel 5 News.
Supported by McDonald's, Payne Auto Group, Plains Capital Bank, and Shaw Eye Center.
Con Mi Gente is supported by Security First Credit Union and Sonic.
Car enthusiasts from around the country and really around the globe here in the Valley for a big show.
It was part of the 5th Annual International Car Show. Rick Diaz takes us there in Con Mi Gente.
The crowds came all because they love those machines of old. It's the 5th Annual International Car Fest in McAllen.
We have them coming from Mexico, Monterrey. We have them from London. We got people from out of town coming from Arizona, Iowa, California, New York.
Al Diaz has organized this from the beginning. Remember the DeSoto? They all bring back memories.
When we got married, we got a 64 Ford Galaxy 500. And we still have it.
We do. Original paint, original interior.
No detail goes unnoticed. They all get the special treatment.
I have this car for about 25 years. My dad gave it to me. So it's always kept in the garage and always under, never in the rain.
And each owner can tell you every detail in detail.
That's his car, you know.
1969 Camaro SS, 350, 4-speed, Muncie, 373 rear end, tilt steering wheel.
They call it the largest car show in South Texas, where the cars are the stars.
Takes a lot of money to work on it.
It's a 1965 El Camino, and it's been fully restored. It's got a 350 small block Chevy, and hours and hours and hours of labor.
And of course, there are the accessories to go with your car.
RGB Diecast. We're a local retailer. From a tow truck to a police car to auxiliary vehicles as well.
All kinds of accessories.
People you know right away, they're coming up looking at the Ford signs, or you know what kind of cars they have.
And there is the old ambulance and the hearse with a touch of humor. And so does Al think there will be another Car Fest next year?
For the love of cars and everybody here, because they enjoy cars and all that, this is something that's going to go on for a long time.
I wonder if Al remembers when gas was 49 cents a gallon. Most of these cars certainly do. They are the classics. For Channel 5 News, I'm Rick Diaz, Con Mi Gente.
It's our 2-for-1 sale at Gonzalez Furniture.
Get 2 promotions in 1.
Simply buy one of our selected living room packages and receive a 48-inch LED TV.
Or 10.1 Samsung Galaxy tablet free. Plus 4 years, no interest.
We're also open Sundays from 1 to 6.
Gonzalez Furniture, your discount furniture store.
It's time once again for the 29th Annual All Valley Boat Show, February 6th through the 8th at the McAllen Convention Center. Browse boats from 7 featured boat dealers and enjoy a variety of vendors along with a kid fish catch tank. And new this year, you can fish 8 different fish species through our new Sport Fishing Simulator. And for kids under 12, the free Tift Cares Kids Zone, where kids can learn how to catch a scholarship and enjoy a variety of activities. It's the All Valley Boat Show this February 6th through the 8th.
Dale, 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 gas.
Come celebrate with us where the party and the savings never stop. Meet Fiesta.
Es su fiesta.
Fiesta Chevrolet Edinburgh.
Chevy trucks always find new roads to conquer. We started with the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. And now, introducing the pickup that unanimously won the 2015 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. All made of high-strength steel, only at one place, at your Texas Chevy dealer. Now during Truck Month, GM owners can trade up to get a total value of $8,000 on select Silverados in stock the longest. See your Rio Grande Valley Chevy dealers.
Whether you're looking for some family fun or a professional athlete, the City of Edinburgh's 33rd Annual All-America 10K Run, Walk, and Fun Run is for everyone. Saturday, February 7th, 9 a.m. sharp, rain or shine. The fun run will begin at 11:30 a.m. The 10K Run Walk fee is $10 for 19 and over, 18 and under $5, and 2-mile fun run is $5. Packets can be picked up until February 6th at 9 a.m. at the Edinburgh Activity Recreation Center. Register online at cityofedinburgh.com or call 381-5631. See you there.
It's our 2-for-1 sale at Gonzalez Furniture.
Get 2 promotions in 1.
Simply buy one of our selected bedroom packages and receive a 48-inch LED TV.
Or a 10.1 Samsung Galaxy tablet free, plus 4 years, no interest.
We're also open Sundays from 1 to 6.
Gonzalez Furniture, your discount furniture store.
Pope Francis will make history this fall. The pontiff will address Congress on September 24th.
He'll be the first pope to ever speak before lawmakers. Also his first trip to the U.S. as pontiff. He'll also be visiting Philadelphia and New York.
In the valley the next few days, temperatures begin to warm up. Still clouds tomorrow, but sun over the weekend. Back up to 80 by Sunday and Monday. We hold there until about Wednesday. Then another front, then a storm system cools it off. There was some rain by Thursday of next week. An update for you at 6.
Also, 2 people who admitted to paying thousands of dollars in bribes to a former justice of the peace have now been indicted by a federal grand jury. We'll tell you who they are in half an hour.
And in spite of the violence in Reynosa, missionaries continue to cross the border. Our Michael Scott will profile their humanitarian effort at 6. Our Michael Scott, not Spot or Spock. You know, it's Thursday today. Thank you so much for sticking with us today. Have a great one.
Have a great evening. Bye-bye. Be safe.
Closed captioning brought to you by Channel 5 and Clark Knapp Honda.
Hey, Pete, check this out. Come here, little doggy. Sit.
Oh.
Sit.
You train your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of his stuff. Shake.
Oh, maybe he's grumpy, you know? I mean, it is lunchtime, so.
Oh, right, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, yeah.
Must be it. Little doggy.
It's okay. Does it taste good, though?
A little dog with a big bite. Little doggies starting at $1.29 and save room for a molten cake sundae. This is how you Sonic.
Catch me if you can.
Remington Steele.
Well, I'm Mike Stone.
Oh, I'm Rockford.
I'm Major Gregory Boyington.
McGarrett. Columbo. Peter Falk.
I was hoping you'd say that. You can run.
Now hit the street.
But you can't hide.
I'm gonna do some nosing around.
Get caught by me.
Even you won't be able to catch up with it.
You want to lay some money down on that, Colonel? Catch me if you can.
Does anybody have the time?
Tonight at 10.
We try to do something so good that a lot of times we forget or we're not aware that we may hurt someone in the process.
An organization working to feed the hungry.
Their heart is in the right place. They're wanting to feed people.
May be hurting some of those they're trying to help.
The product has to be in a clean, off-the-floor environment.
See what the cameras caught when good intentions go wrong. A Channel 5 News investigation. Tonight at 10. You're watching KRGV, Channel 5 Weslaco.
On this Thursday night, breaking news, what federal investigators have just revealed about that deadly train collision. New pictures coming in at this hour inside the train, and what we've now learned about the mother behind the wheel of that SUV. New details tonight on the plane crash, the story from inside that car hit by the plane. Also at this hour, the FBI crackdown on Americans trying to get to Syria. The newest case, 4 from the heartland, stopped at JFK Airport. The next snowstorm lasting for days. And the Giant system slamming the West tonight. And Made in America and the promise, the jeans, the t-shirts you can trace back to the American farm, the cotton. Who did we find?
Hi, David.
Creating American jobs.
From ABC News World Headquarters, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and we begin this Thursday night with new details. Federal investigators talking just moments ago about that deadly collision on the tracks. Hundreds of commuters at the height of rush hour describing what happened in the final moments. New images of the devastation coming in tonight. Investigators inside that charred car. There you can see those windows melted away. And we're learning more about the mother behind the wheel. The NTSB now looking at her cell phone, among other things. Her family and friends speaking out in tonight the chilling new 911 calls. ABC's Lindsay Davis leading us off again tonight.
Tonight, federal investigators combing through the charred skeleton of that Metro North train, revealing the engineer blew his horn for 4 seconds before the fatal crash. This image showing the electrified third rail piercing the passenger compartment right through the footrests, the seats. In newly released 911 tapes, distressing calls from eyewitnesses.
Train exploded?
Yes, the front car just exploded. People are jumping out of the train.
Today, the NTSB interviewing the train's engineer, Stephen Smalls, now out of the hospital. He's credited with